Blog Talk Radio.
Everybody, good evening and welcome to yet another edition of our podcast. We thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us this evening. I am C. Carter. Alongside me is Brandon. Also alongside me is our regular Cody. Hopefully Jacob and Jose will be joining us.
And Louie.
Yeah, Louie. Yeah, we're hoping that our regulars come in and we sit down and have a nice conversation. There's a lot to talk about this evening here on the podcast. Yeah. So let's start off with the NFL first. Yeah, I was about to say, let's start with the NFL. I was about to say, let's start with the NFL first because there's a lot to swallow.
Because they're not even on the combine. That was last week.
Well, we did see some of the runners in the combine, and some of their speed. The one that's trying to get drafted, some of their speeds were off the charts, literally.
Here's the thing I was going to talk about last week, but we didn't have enough time for this week. I think the topic we're going to talk about is the Washington Commanders.
Well, hold off on the Commanders for a second, Cody, because we got to talk about what's been going on today. It's tag day. Also cut day, because we're seeing players getting tagged. We've also seen players signing big contracts, and we've seen players getting cut. So
I think Matt posted this in the sports chat, but Aaron Rodgers is talking with the Jets?
Yes. That was discussed, but I think the discussion was yesterday. They started to have the discussion between the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Something tells me the Packers, they're trying to get rid of Aaron Rodgers. They're done with him.
Oh God, this will be an end of an era for Green Bay.
Now,
that's exactly what they wanted.
Now, I said to myself, the Jets have not learned their lesson. They have not learned their lesson because Brett Favre was traded from the Packers to the Jets, and look how that went.
Yeah. Plus, if we ever hear anything about Aaron Rodgers, he's always on the Pat McAfee show.
And it's true. Aaron Rodgers, he was in some kind of like a sabbatical. I think it was sabbatical.
Plus, I saw memes from you saying Packers every 15 to 18 years. QBs, sure, Grandpa, let's get you to New York.
Oh, God.
Yeah, kind of like, apparently the Jets are the Packers' nursing home.
And then the Ravens, per EMI report, gave Lamar Jackson the non-exclusive tag, and the door is now open.
That's where we go. That's where we're gonna hang our head at right there for a moment, Cody. We'll stick with that topic for a second because here's the thing. Now, I think the question has to be asked, if you're Baltimore, because they've been trying so hard to get a deal with Lamar Jackson, and since apparently the deal was going nowhere, either they were going to tag him or they're going to let him walk. So the only answer they had was to tag him. Now, they gave him the non-exclusive tag, which means that he could sign an offer sheet with any team, but the Ravens can match it. Now, if the Ravens don't match it, they get 2 first-round draft picks come in their direction. So, and already most people were thinking that he was going to go to the Falcons. The Falcons saying, we're not interested. So,
oh, God, no.
So, with that in mind, the question has to be asked. What do you do if you're Baltimore? You already tagged him.
Keep Lamar Jackson because, Jamal would be pretty pissed if he left.
Well, that's true. No, but I think the question has to be asked. What do you do here? Do you, you have to work out some deal. If you can't work out a deal and he plays through his, if he's going to play this season, first of all, that's the question.
Oh,
We've
God,
seen players
that'd be
get,
worse.
franchise tag, and they usually stay out an entire year.
So this is what's shocking about the 2023 NFL season. It's a lot of twists and turns.
Yeah, I think also let's keep this in mind, fellas. So many of these teams they're thinking, well, okay, we want to show our commitment to this player, but we also got to make sure. Well, let me go ahead and bring in a call. Let me go ahead and bring this caller on in.
Is it Jose?
No, stop it.
There we go. We got one caller, and we got another caller. So first of all, caller number 1, welcome to the show. And here comes caller number 2, right behind him.
We got the game back together.
So you guys thought I would miss this?
Yeah! Now we got the special man in the house.
Oh,
The man who owns the shit.
Oh my
Last
God.
weekend it was me and Carter holding the ship.
You didn't hold anything.
Well,
What do you mean?
Cody, you've ever heard of this thing called real life?
I know, dude. Yeah, working on it.
Hey, you never hold anything. What do you mean?
Hold on. Cody's team can't even afford to hold an L.
Whoa! Oh boy! I knew that was coming up.
We actually got a savage on the call.
Oh God! Oh God! Now this podcast is going to hell.
Now you all know why I'm here, and I heard y'all were talking about it to open up. So.
Oh yeah.
All the floor is yours.
The Ravens.
All right, so I'm just going to do myself a favor and be open and as honest as because
the floor is yours. Everybody shut up.
Maybe people need to understand this, but as somebody who very much enjoys having Lamar around, I have to say maybe representing himself was not a good idea. A crazy thought, but follow me on this. Why would you want to represent yourself when you're trying to get $230 million minimum, fully guaranteed, by the way? And one, you haven't played a full season in 2 years at least. Two, you have the skills, but you don't have the playoff wins to back it up. At least compared to someone like Patrick Mahomes, which you're going to get compared to inevitably. And unfortunately, I can't really sit here and justify an argument that would say Lamar Jackson is worth paying Patrick Mahomes money. I can't really sit here and tell any of you that.
Let me ask you a question, Jamal. Do you think he's worth of Deshaun Watson money?
I think Deshaun Watson isn't even worth Deshaun Watson money.
Hold on, Jamal. I got another call I got to add into the show. Give me a second.
Oh, go ahead.
I got to cut it short. So,
hey, fellas.
Louis!
As soon as I found the time, I'm like, okay, I better get in.
Jamal, keep going. The floor's still yours.
I think.
Anywho.
Yeah.
Anywho, 3, and one of the more, I guess, important factors is what team is really that desperate right now for a QB? What team is really that desperate? And I'll open the floor for everyone to answer this question.
I think
with the combine thing last week, there's like a lot of teams that could, take a chance on getting Lamar Jackson.
All right, let me interject a few of those. 5 of those teams have already said no. The Buccaneers are in cap hell, so they're absolute hell no.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers.
That is still busy cleaning house.
If you're the Packers, why would you go after Lamar Jackson when you got Jordan Love, who's been sitting right there for the past 4 years? Are you really trying to waste his time? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar is asking for $230 million fully guaranteed. That is a lot of money. I don't think a lot of teams are willing to spend on him.
Well, let me interject, Jamal, Because I think the question has to be asked, are the Ravens committed to paying Lamar that kind of money? Because it seems to me that they're still far away on some kind of a deal.
They wanted to give him like $130 million guaranteed, which I don't think is all that crazy considering Lamar has one playoff win. One. He has an MVP season. I'll give him that. But Aaron Rodgers has two.
Mm-hmm. And Aaron Rodgers does have a Super Bowl title,
So again, Lamar is stretching himself out on very thin ice, all things considered. And I say this as somebody who likes Lamar, but I think he's asking a little too much, especially when historically one of the best QBs in the NFL, unfortunately, in Tom Brady, has historically taken a lot of pay cuts to win 7 Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
And you're
I
telling
think I
me
can say about I think we could say about Tom Brady, he was more focused on the team rather than himself.
And I'm not knocking Lamar for wanting the money.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. I'm not knocking him for wanting the money. Get your bag by all means. But now I think people are starting to realize that can be a double-edged sword. A really big one. Especially when you pay a guy who has more sexual assault allegations than most people have bodies that they've had right on their genitalia. I find that crazy. Like, why would you pay Deshaun Watson $230 million fully guaranteed when this dude might not even be the same player that he was a couple of years ago?
Right.
This man was so reckless. This man was so reckless with his penis. What makes you think it's that good of an idea?
Okay, I think somehow, somewhere we gone from Lamar Jackson to Deshaun Watson all of a sudden.
That's because Deshaun Watson is why Lamar is asking for all this money.
That's true. I can see the parallel.
He is the exact reason. Cleveland Browns messed this whole because they were so desperate for a quarterback that they tossed money at a dude who has all these sexual assault allegations, and he might not even live up to the standards that he once had for himself. That is a possibility they might have to live with, and it's their fault. You know whose fault is also, though? Baker Mayfield. He could have stayed where he was and probably benefited himself more, but he didn't. He kind of got a little butt hurt, and then now he's kind of stuck where he is.
He's still in Los Angeles, is he?
Yeah, and Sean McVay's still going to give him a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Baker Mayfield could have got more money had he just said, all right, I'm going to play behind Deshaun Watson and finesse my way into a high contract.
Mm-hmm.
Or if he sucked, you could have been like, well, he didn't live up to par, but I have for y'all. Make it a QB competition. But, it's Baker Mayfield. So it is what it is.
Thanks for the call,
I had to get all this. Oh, not a problem. Had to get this all off my chest because I've been tired.
All right, then. Thank you, Jamal.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, Cody, because we still got something else up. We still got to stay here in the NFL because Daniel Jones, the Giants got a deal.
Oh,
yeah.
Now, I want to make sure I got this deal straight. The deal is a 4-year, $160 million deal with the New York Giants. I think I just made somebody do a spit take.
That's Daniel Jones. And my only question is, can he fulfill what the Giants gave him?
Mm-hmm.
I know because I also know that they also put the tag on Saquon Barkley, and that's a good move because you know how Saquon Barkley is. Leave him an opening, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm. Now,
I was still gonna stick around in NFL. I was gonna talk about the Vikings releasing Eric Kendrick.
Oh. Well, like I said, and also we got to talk about what's been going on with Tennessee. Apparently, and I saw this a couple of days ago. Hold on, Corey. Apparently, and I saw this a couple of days ago, that apparently the Titans are shopping around Derrick Henry.
Oh God!
Oh Jesus! I can hear Malik Brown having an aneurysm about this.
Just like he did in the draft. Ayo!
I mean,
Right.
it's. Now here's the thing, and I said this on Discord yesterday. I said that if the Titans trade away Derrick Henry, Nashville is going to burn, and I mean they're going to burn because.
And then Malik's gonna have to find a new favorite NFL team.
Yeah, well, no, I don't think at this point Malik just doesn't care. But the thing of it is, and the frustrating thing about the Titans is, you just don't know what to expect from them. We know last year they traded, got up pronounced the name right. They traded A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
To the Eagles.
But here's the ironic thing. The rest of the Titan staff didn't want to do that, but the previous boss did. Despite the fact that And
go ahead, Brandon.
I would say that thanks to him, Mike Vrabel was pissed because he wanted to keep A.J. Brown. Well, the owner says, no, we're shipping him.
And, it's like we said, and I think the thing of it is, what are the Titans doing? Are the Titans trying to rebuild or something? I mean, now I know running backs don't last too long in the NFL, which is totally understandable because, have you seen the field in which they have to run on? And, not too many teams do running plays that much anymore because, when you do that much running, it has an effect it takes its toll on the knees. But here's the thing. Why are the Titans simply trying to get rid of them? I mean, are they that much into a bad cap situation? Are they trying to save money somehow, some way?
That's on the previous owner's hand because I don't know.
Yeah. It's a very serious head scratcher. And, also we have to talk about, I wish Jacob was still here, but I'm pretty sure somewhere Jacob is having a grand celebration. But
Derek Carr has signed a 4-year deal with the New Orleans Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So, and I think the thing, well, it's kind of unfortunate because pretty soon, sometime before the start of I think sometime probably in June or July, the Saints about to cut a QB, and 9 times out of 10 is going to be Jameis Winston.
I would not be surprised.
But
I would not be surprised if it's Winston.
But
Guess you hear that? I hear something. I hear a Darth Vader theme in the distance. I feel a disturbance in the Force.
Oh, God.
And that disturbance is Tom fucking Brady coming out with a timer for the second fucking time.
No.
Yep.
No.
We don't want this story again.
No, absolutely no. No.
Because Don Keevan put up Tom Brady. Tom Brady said Tom Brady might not be done after all with his play in the NFL, according to which Ethan Sport, who talked to people in Indy. Folks are saying keep an eye on Miami.
No. Here's the thing. And I think here's the thing. Tom Brady basically flat out said he's not coming back. That's it. He's done. Now, he flat out has come out and denied those rumors. I mean, at this point, people are getting sick of time saying, he's retired. Oh, he's back. Oh, he's retired again. Oh, he's back. And he's not the only one that's doing that because Phillip Rivers is trying to come back into the NFL.
Oh yeah, let's see that.
And I keep on saying, I said to myself, the generic jackhammer 2.0 wants to come back in the NFL. God bless him.
He's already contained the 49ers and Dolphins about coming out of retirement waiting the 2022 season.
You know what I'm saying? God bless him. Let's go ahead and shift gears and let's head on.
Well, you did talk about Tennessee.
Hey. Can we?
Well, I was talking. You guys were talking about Tennessee. They announced their.
Can you let him go switch over to another thing?
Like switch over to another sport. Basketball. And we're going to talk about the NBA. It's been a busy couple of days on the court. Unfortunately, it's not been a good time for Ja Morant.
No.
And I don't know whether you guys. I don't know. Hold on. I'm not too sure you all heard about this, but Ja Morant is in hot water right now. And apparently,
what happened?
He flashed his gun on Instagram.
What?
Literally. Yeah.
Oh God, not again, not the second NBA owner to do the shit like this.
No, hold on. Shut down for a second, Cole, because you better get ready to go out of control. Ja Morant, basically, so far he had to sit out. I know it's going to be more than 2 games with the Grizzlies. But here's the thing. It's the frustrating thing. The kid is very, very talented. No question. Absolutely, positively, no question. Ja Morant is very talented on the court. The guy can shoot the ball like as if it's none of his business. The problem is that his off-court activities is going to ruin his career. You cannot post on Instagram and you holding up a gun. You can't do that. And already, I think a police department in Colorado is doing an investigation about that. So,
God.
Yes, it's completely frustrating on what's going on. It's just, the fact of the matter is that when it comes to the NBA, and most players need to understand, it's a privilege to be in the NBA. They don't have to have you in the league. So consider it a privilege to be there. Because if you do something wrong, one false move and they'll kick you out of the league in an instant. So I'm seriously hoping that Ja Morant would take this as a wake-up call. Yeah, I know the city that the Grizzlies play in, Memphis, is, how can I word this correctly? Man, crime is rapid over there. Kind of like, the streets down to Memphis. Hey, motherfucker, and then someone is dead on the ground.
Oh, my God.
I was going to say,
it's kind of frustrating. Hold on, Cody. But it's kind of frustrating what's going on with Ja Morant. And also, I don't want to dwell on this too long because there's a lot of games on the NBA court tonight.
Yeah,
but time out. But I think overall, I'm seriously hoping that this is a wake-up call for him. It's a wake-up call he so desperately needs. It's a wake-up call that he so desperately needs. So you can go ahead and expect Ja Morant will not be on the court tonight when the Grizzlies and the Lakers do battle down at the arena formerly known as the Staples Center. By the way, that's also where they're going to do a retirement ceremony for Paul Gasol. So they're going to retire his jersey.
Paul Gasol, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
what I was about to say, what a perfect thing to do, because the team in which he won championships with, and they're playing against the team that drafted him in the league in the first place.
Yeah. And,
So, I mean,
that's
it's
fitting.
so bittersweet. Let me go ahead and run down the scores real quick because we do have some games going on tonight.
Yes, we do. One of them being, of course, a battle at Little Caesars Arena as the Pistons play host to the Washington Wizards.
Yeah. Also tonight over in Orlando.
At the Amway Center.
Yeah. The Bucks who are without the Big Greek and Holiday, both of them are out for tonight's game. They're leading the Magic 22-18 right now. So
coming up later at the Garden, the New York Knicks, Charlotte Hornets.
Knicks have been on a winning streak, and they have been red hot lately.
9 in a row.
So they've been red hot lately. So if I'm Philadelphia or Boston, I don't sleep on New York. They probably might catch you.
Yeah, speaking of Philadelphia, last night they played a game against the Indiana Pacers where not only Will Ferrell and 50 Cent were in the game. It was actually pretty funny. Pacers almost won. Very nearly won, but the 76ers got the win 147-143 on last Sunday.
Well, right now,
they ain't gonna have that much time to catch their breath because they're going out to the Target Center coming up in a few minutes. That game's gonna be on TNT when they're gonna play against the Timberwolves.
Yeah, and there's one factor you better watch out with as far as the Atlantic goes. It's Brooklyn, and they're playing against the Rockets at the Toyota Center in Houston.
We also have coming up tonight. We got the Golden State Warriors and the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're gonna do battle later on tonight. It's gonna be a good game.
This should be an interesting one right here. Interesting matchup. The Utah Jazz going out to the American Airlines Arena to face the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, so that is going to be very most intriguing. That's going to be some good games right there, fellas. And, of course, we already mentioned about the Grizzlies and the Lakers. That's going to be the night game on TNT.
It is, and it's going to be at the Crypto.com Arena.
Yeah,
I know Jacob hates the name.
Yeah, I know Jacob hates the name. Also,
so do we.
I was about to say, also, looking over the standings real quick. Milwaukee, they still ahead in the Eastern Conference, but Boston and Philadelphia, they're still right there. As Louis brought out, the Knicks have won 9 straight ball games. 9 straight, 39-27. They're like I think, game and a half behind Cleveland for the number 4 spot in the Eastern Conference.
I would say so.
Yeah. But that's most intriguing. Milwaukee pretty much is running away with the East. Meanwhile, Denver is pretty much doing the same thing out west.
Well, but the thing is, Milwaukee better, watch their back because Boston's behind them.
Absolutely. Switching, we're staying on the court, but we're gonna go out to the college basketball side because
the Big Ten.
Well, hold on. That's off for a second. Hold on. That's off for a second, Cody, because this is championship week.
Yes, it is.
Where
conference championships, to be exact.
Absolutely.
And things just got crazy, to say the least.
Yeah. So many of these conferences already having their championship games right now. Teams have already clinched their spot in the NCAA tournament. So that's gonna be most intriguing. Let me run through the teams that have already clinched their spot already. Teams that have won their conference tournaments and got the automatic bids already. we got Fairleigh and Dickinson. Now they're in automatically because the team they're playing in the NEC Championship, they're not eligible to participate in the upcoming March Madness because they're still transitioning from Division II to Division I. So Fairleigh Dickinson's already in the tournament automatically. Representing Ohio Valley, we got Southeast Missouri State. Representing the Big South, we got UNC Asheville. From the Missouri Valley, we got Drake. From the Atlantic Sun, and by the way, when I say Drake, I don't mean Drake the musician, but
I get it.
But from the Atlantic Sun, we got Tennessee State, and from the Sun Belt, we got the Raging Cajuns from Louisiana. And from the Southern Conference, we got the Furman. Yeah, we got Furman. The rest of these conferences, they're getting ready to start underway with their conference tournaments this week. Some of them have already started tonight. So, most intriguing. But the Big Ten, their conference tournament is beginning this week. In fact, the Big Ten is starting tomorrow over at the United Center in Chicago. So they're going to get underway. The Big East is going to. I was going to say the Big East is going to get underway too tomorrow at Madison Square Garden. So
here's the crazy part. I think that the upsets just stopped there, but I hate to tell you, they did not. Because Penn State upset Maryland, who are 21 ranked. And that's on a Sunday? Yeah. Yeah, that was on a Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, it was not an easy Sunday for some folks. Let me run through Sunday scores. It was not an easy Sunday. Houston barely hang on and beat Memphis 67-65. Houston, by the way, is still the number one team in the country. Purdue barely beat Illinois 76-71.
My Hoosiers, Indiana Hoosiers barely beat Michigan Sunday.
Overtime.
Yeah, and as Brandon mentioned, the upset happened. Penn State beat Maryland 65-64, and I know ESPN, they do like a bracketology, and and like what they do, they figure out which teams are on the bubble. And we brought this up. I think it was last episode we brought this up about teams that are on the bubble. And I also thought over the weekend, Rutgers pretty much played themselves out of the tournament after they lost to Minnesota over the weekend. I was saying to myself, Minnesota, by the way, is probably the worst team in the Big Ten, and you lost to them. Yeah, your bubble probably might burst. You probably might need to settle for the NIT, but they pretty much played that way. So I think that's what happened. Now, if Rutgers wins the Big Ten, then they're going to be in because they got the automatic bid. Unfortunately, somebody's bubble's going to burst. But this was
they lost to Northwestern.
And this is what's so great about March Madness. So many teams sitting on the bubble. Everyone holding on to dear life, hoping that they don't see any upsets because they know if there's an upset, chances are their bubble might burst. They're holding on to dear life, But I think that the possibilities are endless. And by the way, CBS is going to have the men's selection show Sunday, and we'll find out who's going to be. We'll find out who the 68 teams, the official 68 teams in the NCAA men's tournament. We'll find that out Sunday. Who's going to be in? Who's playing where? Who's playing in the first 4 games, and then those 4 advance on to the 64. So the possibilities are endless. This could be one exciting week. you like college basketball, if you love college basketball, this is week for you. This is championship week. This is where conference.
This is where men be separated from the boys.
Mm-hmm. And also, while we're on that topic, some of the conferences on the women's side, they've already had their conference tournaments.
Boy.
I think the majority of them have already done that already. Their tickets have already been punched. That includes South Carolina. South Carolina, they went completely perfect. 32-0 to end the regular season.
There are a few men. That's the weird thing is that there are a few men teams that can actually do that. One of them was Kentucky one time, but they got upsetted by freaking Wisconsin. But I don't know if I ever recall a team on the women's side that does that.
Well, there have been a couple of women's teams that have gone completely perfect and win the championship. I think South Carolina did it. We know UConn did it. Tennessee did it. So yeah, it can be done now. Is it easy?
Yeah, it can be done, but doing it the entire tournament, that's another story.
Yeah, I mean, so it is a complete toss-up. I mean, is it easy? No, it's not easy. But you can pretty much bet that, they're going to work their tails out. Don Staley did a wonderful job with South Carolina. So I think the women's tournament, they're going to decide who's going to play on the women's side of the tournament. I think they're doing that Monday. I want to say Monday. Either that, they go wait till the men is over, then ESPN airs the women's show. I'm not too sure. They're gonna do it either Sunday or Monday. I'm not too sure.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But overall, though, should be very interesting to see. Let's head on out to the baseball diamond, fellas, and we got the World Baseball Classic coming up.
Yes, we do, and it's gonna start off with Cuba and the Netherlands tonight. Over in Taichung.
Well, there is some baseball news I did see. Well, before the podcast was starting, I looked up MLB Sports and see if there was any updated stuff that was happening. There wasn't any updated stuff about Chapter 711 bankruptcy. There was, however, a schedule coming out for Southeast and MLB Sports South. They will carry 149 Braves games.
More power to them.
Let's also mark the debut of new play-by-play broadcaster Brandon Gatlin.
Let's go ahead and back to let's go ahead and stay on topic. Because I think Brandon did bring up that coming up later on tonight, we got Cuba and the Netherlands.
Yeah, they're going to be playing in Taichung. And here's the crazy part, and I just heard about right now. Guess who's getting the nod on starting off full play for the USA?
Who?
Adam Wainwright.
Wow.
Real. I was shocked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it's his first start for the USA in the World Baseball Classic, and that's pretty huge for him, considering the list of accolades that he got during his time in Major League Baseball with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Let me run through some of these games that they're still going to play, Brandon. Tomorrow, Batman at 5:00 in the morning. Early in the morning tomorrow, we got Panama and Chinese Taipei.
Yeah.
They're going to do battle. And then later on that evening, we're going to have Australia and Korea.
Yeah, they're
playing,
and they're going to be playing at the Tokyo Dome.
I said they didn't say North or South Korea. They just said Korea.
It's South Korea.
South.
And
South Korea.
we got Panama and the Netherlands at 10 o'clock.
Or 11 because it's
tomorrow.
Taiwan.
And of course, on the 9th, we got China and Japan in the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, that's gonna get nasty.
They have to wear masks.
We got Italy and Cuba.
Yep.
We got the Czech Republic and China. And we got, wait a minute, let me check out this. I guess Cuba's playing the doubleheader because they're playing against Panama in the night game on the 9th. Wow.
Yeah, considering that they're 5 teams, yeah.
That's bound to happen. So, but if you really want to be interested to see how it's going to go, then you need to catch the game tonight when Cuba and the Netherlands play against each other. That game's gonna be on FS1. So, should be very interesting to see. Let's hit the ice real quick, fellas, because the NHL season's been hot. I mean, it's been real hot. In fact, we already got some games going on underway. Let me run through them real quick. We got going on underway right now. The Hurricanes and the Canadiens doing battle. Montreal's in Carolina 1-0 at the moment. So I might bet that game change.
And get ready for the wrong kind of fireworks happening in Pitt because the Columbus Blue Jackets has taken a pounding to the Pens 3-0, and it was 2.5 in the first period.
Man. We also got going on right now in Tampa, the Flyers and the Lightning. They're tied at 1 apiece.
That's interesting. Yep. At the Rock in power play situation, the Devils playing host to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
That's going to be a good game. You know, we're heading down the stretch, and you can already feel the competition is heating up. Panthers are leading the Golden Knights right now, 1-0.
Yeah, and to be quite honest, I think I was going to say the Heat was going to happen in the Metropolitan.
Yeah, as I said, I think that game is about to get the first period about to get ready to come to an end. It's scoreless between. Well, actually, this game just got started, but it's scoreless between the Sabres and the Islanders right now. So,
well, you may want to check again because the Panthers scored one over the Golden Knights at the end of the first.
Yeah, as I said, it's 1-0. I think I said that already. Did I say that already? I might have did. Now, we got coming up this evening. We got the Calgary Flames and the Minnesota Wild. They're doing battle.
Playing up north in Minnesota. Speaking of, the San Jose Sharks, they're going into the Ball Arena to play against the Avalanche.
And we're going out to college. We got the Pluse and the Coyotes doing battle at the Mellon Arena.
Oh boy.
And
then going up to Seattle, we got I don't know what the hell is going on with the Ducks, but they're gonna lose to the Kraken. Hate to say it, but it's the truth.
Well, I think that here's the thing, and let me check the standings real quick. I think that overall though, so far we see that Boston, boy, they already have 103 points already. They've won 10 in a row so far. The Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
I mean, they pretty much ran away with the Atlantic Division. That division is pretty much gone.
No kidding. And it doesn't surprise me that they got the Commissioner's Trophy at hand.
Yeah, and if they stay consistent, I don't see anyone stopping them between now and the Stanley Cup Final. I just don't see it. But
unless one team's lucky enough to do so.
Yeah. But you know what? I give Toronto and Tampa credit. They're trying to stay close, but it's not looking too good right now. Especially Tampa Bay. They've lost 5 in a row so far.
Yikes.
So it's not looking good for them. Carolina, New Jersey, and the Rangers is going to be pretty much right now it's pretty much a 2-team horse race between Carolina and New Jersey.
No, don't count the Rangers. Don't count out the Rangers.
No, I'm not counting out the Rangers. I think that. Now, I was about to say, even though the Rangers they lost 2 in a row, but the Rangers. No, I think they got, especially now they got Patrick Kane on the squad. Give this team time, and when they gel, this team's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, and we just mentioned this beforehand. This Metropolitan Division with just those 3 teams alone, the Devils, the Rangers, and the Hurricanes. Just expect a bloodbath of a 3-horse race, because considering the trades that they've been making, oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, don't you just love to see it? Teams, doing battle, and here we are in the month of March. We got 6 weeks until the end of the season. 6 or 7.
At least.
So you can always feel the tension out west. Good Lord, look at the Western Conference, especially we got the Stars and the Wild and the Jets and the Avalanche.
God.
I mean, especially the Wild have won 4 straight so far. So I mean, it's going to be very interesting how that Central Division is going to be. Nashville is still in the thick of it. I mean, they're like 5 points behind Colorado. But
and this is a very interesting situation, because Nashville, they always place themselves as a team that you just don't see coming. Because they conservatively say that they are a threat. Now we're at this point of, can you prove it? Nashville has to do just that. They got to prove that they're a threat.
Yeah, absolutely. And out in the Pacific, what can we say about the Pacific? Because man, it's pretty much turned to a dogfight. Vegas and the Kings, they're tied for first in the Pacific, but Seattle and Edmonton, they're right there.
Yeah.
So I mean, both the Kings and the Kraken. The Kraken have won 4 straight so far, and I tell you what, Seattle is having.
Well, technically, all 3 of them got a bit of a 3-4 game winning streak in the Pacific.
Yeah, so I mean, it is a complete toss-up as to how things are going to go as we head down the stretch here, fellas. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm looking forward to seeing this much of the action. We're going to, and it's going to be fun seeing these teams doing battle like if you could never believe. It's going to be great, because some of these teams are battling just to get to the playoffs. Because I still believe in my heart of hearts, I think that the NHL has the best. I think the Stanley Cup playoffs is the best playoff for which you probably might have ever seen in sports. I know some probably might say it's the NBA playoffs. Some probably might say it's the road to the Super Bowl. Okay, no, everyone's entitled to their own belief. I just think that the Stanley Cup playoffs are pretty much the best playoff we've seen in all the sports. I just wish ESPN had some more love for hockey. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Because about a couple of days ago, and I saw this on YouTube, a couple of days ago, on First Take, of all shows on First Take, the question was asked, and they had, I think, Michael Kay. I want to make sure I got his name right, because he does commentary for the Yankees.
Yeah, that's Michael Kay right there.
And he was on the show, and I think Molly asked the question, which New York teams will win the championship next? So Michael Kay said, "Oh, wait a minute, I got another call. Let me go ahead and bring him on into the bar."
Oh boy.
Michael Kay said, the question was asked. We'll wait for our caller to get settled in.
Is that Jose? Because I'm hearing a lot of wind.
Yeah.
But
that's me, all right. But what's going on?
But let me go ahead and get to what I was saying. Marty asked the question, what do your kids go win the championship next? Michael K. Said that he was saying he sees going to be the Rangers. Both Stephen A. Smith and Marty both said we don't talk about hockey here. The only thing we know about hockey is that the puck is flat. I said to myself, my God, ESPN, the NHL is paying you a boatload of money and you don't know the sport. It's just completely frustrating. ESPN, NHL pays you a lot of money to air their games and you don't know the sport. Especially Stephen A. Smith and they try to put Stephen A. Smith on almost every show under the sun. Because he's so good at it, but there's some sports which he has no idea about. So I'm just bringing it up because, like I said, ESPN, for some odd reason, they just don't like hockey. For some odd reason, I can't put a finger on it. Yeah. Jose, let me ask you this question since you just came in from the wind. Let me ask you this question because we spoke about this earlier. How enthusiastic are you about Daniel Jones staying with the Giants for 4 more years?
Here's my question, right? Because I saw this as I was looking through YouTube, and I saw that a post by ESPN that broke news by Schefter. My thoughts about it, and this was like, so you gave this guy 4 more years because he's kind of injury prone for some reason. Not most of the time, but like some of the time. Is it really worth it? That's my question. Here's the thing.
No.
If Adam Duvall can take this team to the Super Bowl with Daniel Jones, then I'll respect it. But for now, I'm skeptic. I'm very skeptic.
I never liked it.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. We've seen how Daniel Jones played before this season. It kind of makes you ask the question whether or not are the Giants gonna be committed to this guy? But did he earn his paycheck? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not the general manager of the Giants, but hey, 4-year, $160 million deal. Okay, then that's not too bad. Now, like I said,
here's the thing. It ain't bad, but it feels a bit overpaid just because I'm still skeptical because every Giants fan is kind of skeptic about this kind of play that the big brass of Big Blue are doing. But if you really believe in Daniel Jones, then go ahead. But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword at that point. Just don't be you can be cautious, but don't be too cautious, if that makes any sense.
That's totally understandable. And like I said, and they did put the franchise tag on Saquon Barkley, so
yeah.
So you can only hope they can.
Here's the thing, right? Saquon Barkley, he could put up numbers. I'll tell you that much, all right? And when he's healthy, he could definitely reek up the backfield and create havoc. It's just a matter if he can actually be healthy.
Yeah. Now, if I'm Daniel Jones,
last season he was tremendous. Not gonna lie, numbers were bugging. But the fact is that can he keep that same healthy streak coming into this season? That's my question. I don't think that can happen.
So right. You think? I get what you're saying. You're asking if he can stay consistent.
Yes, and that I don't think it's going to happen.
And that's totally understandable. And that's the fact that Daniel Jones might be a little bit concerned because his neighbors across the street might begin that new quarterback spell if the Jets get Aaron Rodgers.
I don't see that. I really don't see that. I don't care if you had. Here's the thing. I don't care if you had Nathaniel Hackett. He's just a puppet. That's all he is. And Aaron Rodgers is the ventriloquist or the puppet master at that point. But I don't think I'm saying that Aaron Rodgers is going to stay a Packer until he's retired. Because if he wants to go to any other team, then I don't know. Because I don't see him as a Jet. I just still see him as a Packer, and that's about it.
I can't do it.
I don't know about you heard about this, Miguel, but the Packers are looking to give away Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm just saying this. I don't see that happening. I really don't. I really don't. And if he does go to the Jets, it ain't gonna do well because of the thing. You got Mike White, because out of 3 weeks, he's already put up numbers. Hell, he even took a big hit against Buffalo and still kept on going.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my question: why did you put him as your QB instead of trying to get Aaron Rodgers just because of Nathaniel Hackett? That's my question.
That's a very, very good question indeed. Really, really something to ponder on, fellas. And as I see that big old clock on the wall telling us that it's almost time to close up shop. Before we do close up shop,
I want to pull pull one more thing out of the book because I think he kind of talks about Derek Carr going to the Saints. Is Devontae Adams going to follow? Because remember, Devontae joined the Raiders because of Carr. So does that mean that this Carr is in the Saints? Does that mean Devontae is going to be coming with him? Or is he going to stay as a Raider because of Josh McDaniels?
I try to say I doubt it because the Saints are in cap hell, just like the Bucks. Bucks are still cleaning house. They're still like $57 million over the cap. So, and they've already they're still purging out some of the folks on the roster to try to get under as much of the cap as possible. Which is why I said last week that our season will be sponsored by Hoover Vacuums because we're gonna suck and we're gonna suck real bad. But and I think
there are a lot of questions that there are a lot of more questions that need to be answered. For example, can Sean Payne actually fix the card and have Russell Wilson actually do it, or is he just gonna turn into another punchline? That's the thing, right? Because you saw that last season, I was trolling the Broncos so hard, but now I think they can actually make noise if Russell Wilson can actually put the numbers that he did in Seattle, like his prime time. If that makes any sense. I feel like Sean Payne is going to be because Sean Payne is a good coach. I'm super happy, right? He's going to hit or miss, but I feel like Sean Payne can actually get the Broncos to sit down, hunker down, focus, and even if they don't make the playoffs, they can make a good record. That's all I care about. I just want Broncos to make progress and not go down like the Colts. Sorry, Cody.
I think as I get ready to see that clock on the wall. First of all, Louis, thank you for joining us tonight. And folks, we just want to encourage you to tune in to the Enhanced Sports Show every Saturday from 4 to 6 Eastern.
Yeah.
4 to 6 Eastern, and Louis, give them the number.
512-543-4662. I'll repeat it again, 512-543-4662.
All right, then. Thank you for joining us tonight, Louis.
Coder, I think you talked about this yesterday, and
we're getting ready to close up shop, Hagen.
I know, but Carter, you talked about this yesterday. We may switch locations.
Let me explain this real quick, and then I'm going to close up shop. I'm getting ready to move within a couple of months. So, and of course, when a person gets ready to move, you know the saying, try and save as much money as possible. So, unfortunately, you have to make cuts somewhere. But I will go into full detail when that time comes, Cody. But not now.
Okay, that seems fair.
Yeah. So, but we do want to thank everybody for coming in and calling in and voicing their opinion. Thanks to our good buddy Jamal for calling in. And yes, Jose, you did miss Jamal. He was here. But he was forced to hit the pin on Lamar Jackson. So, but we want to thank Jamal for calling in. We want to thank our buddy Jacob for calling in. We know that he's been having a busy schedule. So, but we thank him for calling in. I want to thank Cody, Brandon, and Jose for joining me here this evening. And folks, we want you to come back with us next week at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Join us back here next week, ladies and gentlemen, for another edition of the VWU Sports Podcast as we are continuing on our march to 72. We're hoping that you all will continue to join us. Will continue to be with us as we continue on this ride. This is our final voyage, 72. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. So for Jacob, Louis, Brandon, Cody, Jose, I'm T-Car saying good night, everybody. We'll see you on down the road. Until then, good night.
The Big Ten
Hopefully I'm
still
not late like-
continues. We'll see you on episode 69.
Gosh. Hopefully I'm not late like before.
Good night, everybody.
See ya. Yeet.